What's up, people? Mike here, and this is Batman Arkham Knight, new game plus, and after that little sequence when you get the shit scared out of you by Man-Bat showing up, anytime you're just flying around the sea, you can hear in the distance the sounds of his screaming during the night. Um, and so when you get to this point, you have this. I believe it said like 19 tanks were in this area, and there's a couple of those Diamondbacks that have the the double-mounted rockets or whatever it is, and those are like top priority. And actually, it said at 19, but you don't actually deal with 19 of them. 19 was the total amount that were on Miyagami Island. And a lot of them were there because of that explosive. But you just need to deal with the initial group of guys so that you can get into this part. And this is one of those sequences where you need to progress through to be able to open up the doors so that you can bring the Batmobile through. And I don't think I mentioned it, but you might have noticed from the beginning of the videos to now, Batman looks a little bit different. I believe this skin, it's the first appearance skin of how Batman looked in 1939 in Detective Comics 27. I believe this skin is if you have a Warner Brothers Play account. I believe that's how I got this skin. Because when you select your save file towards the bottom, it will say WB Play, and I'm pretty sure because I verified that I did have an account, it gave me the skin. And the main reason I'm using this skin is because I would be using the Dark Knight Returns skin, but as of right now, it's only exclusive to the Steam version. I believe the rest of the skins go unexclusive to various retailers in, I think, August or September. So if I can't have the Dark Knight, I can have Batman's first appearance. And honestly, I think this look is actually somewhat better, just because of the purple gloves on his hands, and the utility belt, the way it looks, and just like on the close-ups in the cutscenes with the way the helmet is, where it's basically just like a felt material instead of like leather or armor or something like that. And also because he's not wearing the actual body armor. So some of the cutscenes with the Arkham Knight when he shoots you on your side are pretty funny, considering that he's basically wearing zero armor. So the way the Arkham Knight shoots him, he would pretty much be dead, because he pretty much just shoots him right in his lung.
Just you, me, a regular war against crime. Well, take a look, Bats.
So when you get to this area, I believe this is the game introducing you to these wall vents that you can slide into to get underneath the floor. They show up certain areas later on, and it's actually kind of a cool new feature that they threw in. So right at the beginning, that heavy was highlighted in blue. I should have done the environmental takedown just so I could have not had to deal with him anymore. Because I had this weird moment where I had the combo going of beating him down, and then for some reason he just stopped punching him, and it happened there too. I really don't know what happened. It kind of threw me off. Like, I was in the moment of just pretty much almost being done beating him down, and for some reason Batman just like was punching him like crazy, and then the next punch wasn't as powerful, and it just like broke the flow. I really don't know what the fuck happened. But eventually, after you deal with the first couple waves, you get another wave and you get another heavy thrown in here. And this is me getting fucked up on the combo and getting annoyed with the ninja, so I threw the environmental at him. And that was me wasting the combo attack by hitting the wrong buttons and messing up. So this next wave brings in the medic. You want to try and take him down as quick as you can so you can do the multi takedown, so he doesn't try and revive any of these guys, since the last thing you want to do is be almost at the end of this battle and then have some guy get revived. So but once that battle is done, you have that moment of the tank driving in. I believe you need to like walk some. You have to completely look away from the panel and then look back, and hopefully the Joker is standing there so that you can actually rip this thing down, because until the Joker shows up there, you can't actually interact with that panel, which is kind of annoying. But once that's done, just switch to the Batmobile and deal with all these tanks. Also, make sure you shoot the tank that's actually in the doorway, because I had to edit out about 45 seconds of me driving around not understanding why I couldn't change back to Batman from controlling the Batmobile. And eventually I finally came back and realized that I hadn't actually shot at the tank that was lodged in the doorway. So that was about like 45 minutes to a minute that I had to edit out because of being a dumbass and not paying attention. And then this moment happened so many times. Like, I'll hit left bumper to get out of the Batmobile, but instead of him actually jumping out, he just gets on top of the Batmobile and then he just jumps back in. I don't know why that happens, but I have had that happen, especially for later on in the game when I'm trying to get out of the Batmobile. I've had that happen way too many times that I don't really understand why that happens. It's not like it's a button press, like I'm not hitting, like I'm holding it down too long or something so he's getting back in, because I've tapped the button and he'll do that. He'll just jump on top of it and then immediately just get right back into the Batmobile. So like I said, I don't really understand why that happens, but so in I think it was the last video, I talked about how I had a really shitty driving section This is a shitty driving section. You don't see it. I believe it's right here. I end up like going over that barrier that you shouldn't be able to break, but somehow I jumped over it, and I got completely separated from this thing. Like, I'm surprised I didn't fail this. Like, it actually worked out that it took me so long to get back to this vehicle that I met him, like, on his way back to his routine path. Like, I almost, like, collided head on with this thing because of how far behind I was getting to this thing. It was so terrible. I really was surprised I didn't just completely fail it because of that shit. And this is me dealing with those assholes, so I'm not getting attacked by them when I deal with this imposter. This whole sequence is kind of weird when you're basically driving the Batmobile like onto this guy's head and like almost crushing him just to get information. As far as I can tell, you can't actually like crush the guy's head. He just will keep begging for his life until you let go of the right trigger. But it's pretty gruesome how, as the game goes on, the Joker's influence on Batman kind of starts taking over, where he does things that he normally wouldn't do, like nearly crushing a guy's head just to get information out of him. And and then once you get to this point, you have this big confrontation with a bunch of these tanks. As soon as you see the indicator that you've been locked on, you want to find out where the rockets are coming from, and either get a building in front of you, or get the Vulcan gun on them and just destroy them immediately. And then I don't do it too much. I kind of do it a little bit later on, but if you hit A, you kind of can boost sideways or forward or whichever direction. So if you have one of those lights on the Batmobile and it's red, you can very quickly just like put the direction whichever section and hit A, and you can kind of boost out of the way of it. And there was a moment of it wasn't giving me the marker for where I needed to go, so I had to go into the mission select to get it. And we'll be meeting up with the Penguin in the next video.